The single biggest challenge at this place was how to visualize Ninkasi. Hi, my name is Adityaraj Singh. So the way you see Ninkasi right now, it is purely the fragment of my imagination. I like to call it cosmic chaos. And currently, I am the creative director of all things Ninkasi. We wanted to visualize Ninkasi in a way it has not been done before. And with the help of a few local artists, I'm glad we are here. So I was born and brought up in Bikaner. Then I went to Kota because like every kid back in the day wanted to be an engineer. Didn't happen. I did my college from Amity University in Jaipur. I was always fond of all things creative. Like I wanted to do creative pursuits in my life. I wanted to follow creative stuff in my life. So that's how it happened. I remember my first job, I started working in an ad agency. It was a reputed ad agency in Gurgaon. I've been in the industry for 8 years now. I'm proud to say that now I've founded my own creative boutique, which is called CoCaff Creative. So I started my career in NCR as PR copywriter for a small boutique PR agency. Afterwards, I did stints at several other advertising agencies based in Gurgaon, NCR. From there onwards, COVID happened. Like all of us, I also had to think of alternative ways. Thankfully, like it was a job that allowed me to work from distance, and I set up shop in Kullu. For 3 years, I was based in Kullu, and I was working from there. So I feel like all this while I was in Delhi, I used to travel a lot. Then living in Kullu, this allowed me to kind of gain exposure to a lot of cultures, to a lot of different influences, and that has kind of made me what I am today. I think my biggest influence has been the kind of culture I was born in. So being born and raised up in Rajasthan, it gives you exposure to a lot of fine cultures, not just I feel the best of India, but like across the world. For instance, I've been to a lot of Havelis where European influences were quite heavy. I've been a fan of so many artists internationally and I've been observing their work. That happened. And after that, when I moved to Kullu, I was quite fond of how all things functioned in Himachal. Culture is at the core of everything that happens in Himachal. So that further added to the kind of preferences, to the kind of taste I developed. Growing up in Bikaner, I was quite a fan of work that Sir Samuel Swinton Jacob has done for the country. He's the guy who designed pretty much all of the New Delhi, Rambagh, Lakshmi Nivas, Lalgarh, Bikaner House in Mount Abu. So I quite like the work that he did. But that said, everything in palaces, the kind of work Sir Swinton was doing was heavily tilted towards making things grand. I'm a big fan of some of the local artists that worked in our country. Let's just say, like, there's this Sri Baluji Chawla from Bikaner. He designed some of the great Havelis in Bikaner. So, you know, the kind of taste that Seths of or the merchants of that time had, it was quite eccentric. It was several influences from different parts of the world. They wanted it in their homes. So, I was fortunate enough to witness a lot of these things in play. And that kind of shaped me and kind of designed my taste the way it is today. So when I talk about Ninkasi, this place where we are seated right now, it's a 1960s bungalow. It belonged to one of the noble families of Mewar. It was totally converted from scratch. We had a vision, of course, I was friends with all of these guys. So we had a vision that we wanted a roastery at the ground level and we wanted a bar, a cocktail bar on the first level. That was the entire vision. It has always been the vision. So this house has functioned as many things. So it was an art deco building where these people, these very souls lived. After that, it also functioned as a school for a while, and many of my Udaipur friends I know have actually studied here. So I kind of always was fascinated with this house. In Jaipur terms, it is like located in civil lines of Udaipur. So, you know, it has memories connected to many people in Udaipur. So I had a chat with all of them. We used to talk about what should be this place without disturbing the very ethos of this place. So the interiors of Ninkasi, I feel these are rooms. So we wanted to retain that charm of a room. And we wanted to visualize how these rooms would have looked back in the day, and the people who lived in these rooms, what kind of taste these guys had. We thought of doing something that was very maximalist in nature, owing primarily to the fact that most of the construction, most of the buildings that I see right now, they tend to play more or less towards the minimalistic side of things. It's easier to execute. You know, it has lesser degree of to and fro in terms of, you know, changes and everything, because okay, it's minimalistic. What is what is the maximum you can do. So everything we did here was handpicked from different cultures, different influences, different places. I like to call it like it's like a microcosm of what India is. So we have different societies functioning across India. If you look at them solitarily, they're beautiful, but when all of this comes together, we have this very diverse country that we call our home. So this also in a way, so we have lithographs, we have paintings, we have prints, we have brassware, silverware, all kinds of metalware, we have textile arts, we have a lot of commissioned art here as well. So I feel we have tried to play with a lot of variety to create that, I like to call it cosmic chaos, in order to make it look like a reflection of our inner self. The single biggest challenge at this place was how to visualize Ninkasi, because this is a Sumerian goddess who lived approximately, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 years before us. So we had local artists who helped us visualize how Ninkasi looked, right? So we had a few influences from the internet, we had a few references, we kind of clubbed all of it together to create the very image of Ninkasi. This is very close to my heart because I've been a big fan of how Raja Ravi Verma functioned. He was a great artist of his time, and he's primarily the reason behind painting our gods. The way we see Ganesha today, the way we see Lakshmi today, I think a big part of credit it goes to Raja Ravi Verma, how he made these paintings which today form the very crux of how we see our gods. We wanted to visualize Ninkasi in a way it has not been done before, and with the help of a few local artists, I'm glad we are able to achieve that. So the way you see Ninkasi right now, it is purely the fragment of my imagination. Like, it was my fantasy. I was always passionate about creating things, about designing stuff. ये कहीं ना कहीं से हमारे दिमाग, हमारे collective दिमाग की ही उपज है. इसके अलावा I would like to mention महाराज हर्षवर्धन सिंह जी of Bikaner. He has this really cute bar going inside his house, which we used to go as kids. So I still fondly remember how he had this maximalist approach about getting antiques, or antiques like how I like to call them, atmospheric props. बिकॉज उस चीज़ को उस तरीके से प्लेस करा गया था कि वो एक कुल मिला के एक एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट करते हैं, ऐसा एक वाइब क्रिएट करते हैं ऐसी, जिस जगहों पे आप और मैं बैठकर अपने दोस्तों के साथ कुछ समय स्पेंड करना चाहेंगे, कुछ टाइम स्पेंड करना चाहेंगे. सो आई थिंक दैट वन बार, दैट वाज वन ऑफ द इन्फ्लुएंसेस, एंड वी फेल्ट दैट इट इज़ समथिंग जो बाकी लोगों को भी देखना चाहिए, बिकॉज वी एंजॉयड इट सो मच. हमारा मन था हम बाकी लोगों को भी दिखाएं, दे शुड ऑल्सो एंजॉय इट, एंड दैट्स हाउ दिस केम अप. सो हमारा शुरू से ही उद्देश्य ये रहा है कि हम जहाँ तक हो सके उदयपुर के लोगों की मैक्सिमम उनकी इसके अंदर कोलैबोरेशन, उनके साथ उनको इन्वॉल्व करें. किस तरीके से मोस्ट ऑफ दीज टेक्सटाइल्स आर कमिशन्ड बाय, लेट्स से, somebody from MLSU who is a student. So it was a great help, and these are people who are very passionate about what they are making. Some of the paintings that you see around you are made by a local artist called Jayesh Sikligar. The artwork has been done by a lady called Bindu Padiyar, who happened to be a local designer in the city Kota. So we have tried to involve as many local people as possible. Even in terms of installments, the art installments we have done here, we have employed local people. So I think it has been the core of our philosophy कि हम लोकल लोगों को जितना ज़्यादा हो सके इन्वॉल्व करें, सपोर्ट करें, एंड इन फ्यूचर दे ऑल्सो एक्ट एज आर ब्रांड एम्बेसडर्स. वो कहीं जाएँ तो वो बता पाएँ कि हाँ उन्होंने वहाँ पर ऐसा काम किया है. इट हैज़ हेल्प देम ऑल्सो ग्रो. सो वी फील दैट वी हैव अचीव्ड समथिंग देयर.